Okay, so welcome everybody to our Thursday community chat, November 5th. Today we have brand new HR director or director of HR, Donna-Rae Kenneally, and joining your town manager, Paul Bachman, and I am Brianna. Normally we will then give Paul a chance to give some updates, and then we'll have Donna-Rae introduce herself.
Great, thank you. Sorry to be late. So the big news for us has been the university's reopening plans, which is good. We had a meeting with them this morning, and they will be presenting to the town council on Monday, starting at 6:30, with a bevy of staff who will be there from all different aspects of the university. So that will be a very important presentation that will again be recorded as Monday, November 9th at 6:30. For the university presenting its plans and more detail about the reopening, and for the winter break, and in January when they seek to reopen. And then the other thing is just our case counts. We were in red. We ticked down a little bit. I think this is a type of thing that's going to yo-yo up and down during the course of the next few weeks, and we're not immune from what's going on in the rest of the state. So we expect to see some variability in the number of cases that we have. So that's it to begin with.
Okay. Thank you for those updates. Before I kick it off over to Donna-Rae, I just want to remind those who are live when it comes to Q&A, please use the Q&A function in Zoom or raise your hand via Zoom so we can hear from you live. We have questions that have already been submitted, but we would like to hear from those who are in the room if you'd like. So Donna-Rae, could you please go ahead and introduce yourself?
So hi, I'm Donna-Rae Kenneally. I'm very happy to be here. I am the new Director of HR and Human Resources. The skills and experience that bring me to the position are, I started my career in 1992 working at the Pioneer Health Group, which is a health insurance company. And I specialized in group and employee benefits. And one of the plans that one of the group health plans I managed was the Western New England College health plan. And then they were looking for a benefits specialist in 2003. And I went over to work for them in 2003. And I've grown in that area over the last 17 years in various positions in human resources. One of the attractions for that position for me was the tuition benefit. And so I was able to earn an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree in business, and most recently a Juris Doctor degree from the School of Law. And to the extent possible, I concentrated my coursework in employment law and labor law. And as of now, to this minute, I'm an adjunct faculty member teaching employee benefits at the law school. So those are some of the skills and things that I bring to the position here. On a personal level, so I was born and raised in Ludlow, Massachusetts, and I made a big move in 2009 over to Belchertown when I was remarried. Together with my husband, Joe, we have 3 beautiful children. One is actually a student at UMass right down the street, so I'm waiting to have lunch with him. And then we were waiting for a nice day, and today is a very nice day, so I hope to hear from him. And we also have 3 beautiful grandchildren, the loves of my life. And so that's me on a personal level too.
I mean, just for my point, Donna-Rae brings just relentless positive energy and a willingness to participate in things. And I think it's jumping in with both feet. She's only been here a few days, but already taking on all kinds of things, whether it's collective bargaining situations or looking to work with our diversity group or whatever. And so it's just really great to have you here, Donna-Rae.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. And I added this positive sunflower picture for my background. So, I was looking at the background with Bree right before we, came online, and I said, "Can I just put a picture there? It looks bland." So
yeah, you're like a 2 out of 9 on Room Rater, I think.
She mobilized. She grabbed some tacks and was doing it for the viewers. So
you're
welcome.
Thank you. Yes. So thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I echo everything that Paul has said. And just the short time you've been here, you've jumped into a lot of our working groups, and it's been great to have you on board. So we want to know what your first impressions are for working for the town, even though you've been here for nine
Today is
days?
day 9, 8 complete days. Today's day 9. I also love my drive-in to work. It's very nice. So my impression so far is very positive, of course. I've been able to, so the town offers so many services, and I've been able to meet with a lot of people from different departments, the police department, fire department, the DPW, libraries, different departments, land use planning, and just very thoughtful people who wanted to take some time and really tell me what the value that their departments are adding to the town. They are very thoughtful and seem to care a lot about what they do and how they do it. And so it's been very interesting. And I'm looking forward to more tours of more of our facilities. But I will say on my first day, it was great. I met Winston, and it was perfect because, of course, first day of a new job after 17 years, I was a little nervous, and I got to meet the Comfort puppy, and he was wonderful. So very great first impressions.
My first day was a snowstorm and town was closed. So that was my first impression, just to balance that with the puppy. So another question we have here is, as a human resources professional, what kind of approaches or initiatives are you thinking of introducing to the town of Amherst?
Well, so first I want to learn everything about what you're already doing. And I have to say some of the things that you're already doing are working, and that's kind of reflected in the talented individuals I met that are, leading a lot of your areas. So learning more about the culture here and then hopefully enhancing it is definitely a goal of mine. I think workplace culture. I have a background in IT a little bit, human resources, information technology. I want to look to make sure that, we're providing the best services that are available to kind of, all in the interest of serving the town and helping the employees to best serve the town. One of the, I think, I just joined the core equity group, and I'm very excited to know more about, I think I have an understanding of the town's views, but kind of to learn more about current practices, and I just became a member of the Government Alliance on Race and Equity, and that's a national network for government workers and achieving racial equity and advancing opportunities for everyone working in government. So I think that will be really helpful to me in terms of working for local government.
So one of the first things I asked when we were talking, she's like about her onboarding experience, and Donna-Rae said, "It's a lot of paper here. And is there any way we can do something better than this?" And I said, okay. You've just assigned yourself the first task, which is look at our onboarding, look at how we're doing things, especially in the pandemic where we ask people to sign lots of things. Is there another way to do things electronically? And so that's her first task, is to sort of monitor how we've onboarded her and how can we do it better. And I think even in 1 week, we learned to do things better with Emma Dragon, our new health director, than we did with Donna-Rae. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how you can bring your IT background into some of the decisions and sort of, we're not going to get around that we need a lot of people to sign off on our, sexual harassment policy sign off or acknowledge receipt of our IT, our technology use policy, things like that. But is there a better way than giving you a folder full of paper that then we have to deal?
Yes, there is.
There's definitely a better way. And Donna-Rae and I have already talked about it.
Yes, we did. That was one of our first topics of conversation.
And I think that approach is just really refreshing and welcome. When you come into an organization, we've done some work around making that process better for the public, but I love that perspective from especially a new hire. What a lot of us forget, because you do it once, but yes, there's so much room for growth there, and I'm excited that Donna-Rae is ready to roll on that.
Thank you. But I do think, there were some things that I found that are state of the art, top notch, your applicant management system. You have some really wonderful things too. So there's always room for improvement, but you're in a good place too.
That's a compliment to Brianna right there.
Well, actually, me and the HR team that worked to implement that, because they were pretty crucial. So we're proud about that. But that just means that we can expand on it now that
That's right.
DonnaRae's here. So, okay. So what do you see, Donna-Rae, as the biggest challenges that the town faces in the human resources field right now, whether that's COVID related or otherwise?
So in not, I'm on day 9, so I'm not speaking really specifically to the town, but just any organization this size, it's usually about promoting a positive workplace culture, especially there are a lot of different areas. We talked about the different buildings I've been to already. So sometimes it's, we're all on the same team. We all have the same mission of, of servicing the town. But sometimes just kind of having everyone together and promoting positive workplace culture and finding ways for constant communication and collaboration, I think is something that most organizations face challenges in. So just promoting positive workplace culture. So that's something I'm very interested in. I have not recognized any problems yet, day 9, but that's something I'll be looking at. And there are so many things I see that are happening. For example, you guys won already, or last year, an award for workplace wellness. So, and those are ways where you can show care and concern for your employees. There's a lot of things that you can do to say, hey, we're really thankful that you're here, and things like that.
And I know you dove right in, and you now part of the wellness committee with myself and some others, and that's been really great to have you on board there, especially with your perspective from higher ed and some of the practices you can bring over from what's been working in that field. So we're really excited to expand upon that, those wellness offerings that we can have for the town, for town employees, which then trickle down to how well they can serve their function and serve the public. So we're really excited right now to have you on board on that work.
Years ago, health insurance companies really didn't do much in terms of wellness and in terms of offering, but a few years ago, they started realizing that when you promote wellness, that kind of, it helps everybody. And so I think there's a lot of help from the insurance company that wasn't available before. It's just now you got to know how to get them to give it to you. So hopefully I can be helpful in that with you guys on that committee. And I think maybe yoga on the common, some really cool stuff that we could do. That would be great.
What do you think employees need most right now? Maybe you can't say specifically in Amherst, but just in general, in light of the pandemic and just various current affairs going on. What's the focus?
Well, I think employers, so your best asset is your employees always. That's my opinion. And so you want to keep your employees engaged. And so that, especially in the pandemic, it's hard because some of us are remote. And I think just communication and helping employees to understand that you are concerned about their safety, and you better be, you should be. And so I think, and I see that here in town, definitely. There's people walking around with yellow shirts, giving me masks. There's all sorts of good stuff going on here. But I think those are important things to help your employees to feel that your care and concern. So I'm not really like a movie star, so I'm not on TV a lot. So I hope I'm doing okay here.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
If I do really well, I'm going to make my grandkids watch tonight.
Well, after this, we will share that link with you so you can kind of have a premiere.
All right.
At home.
All right.
And I think you'll get a chance. We're both Donna-Rae Kenneally and our new public health director, Emma Dragon, who hopefully she'll be one of the next guests coming up in a community chat. So you also get to meet with her, but they'll get to be introduced to staff on Friday, which is really important and difficult when, like you mentioned, Donna-Rae, some of us are remote or blended or hybrid. So are you excited to get to connect with the staff on Friday, even though it's going to be virtual?
Definitely, definitely. And I want to give the message that I am someone who, or it's been my practice. I want to, I'm very happy to be here, and I want to build up credibility and know that they have a person that they can talk with. And so I think any kind of introduction, whether it's remote or in person, is a good way to say, hey, I'm here, and, please come to me if you need me.
It's really a hard time of years during the pandemic, because we were talking yesterday about, the town hall would have potlucks, potluck lunches at the drop of a hat almost, and any occasion we could think of. Flag Day, potluck brunch, let's do it. And we can't have those now. And it's I mean, there's a lot of people still working in town hall, but we're not sharing food. We're creating, social distancing and things like that. So it's kind of it's unfortunate that we're in that situation. Hopefully we get out of it sooner than later, but that's kind of an informal contact that we always had with each other is sort of missing. And that's how you build relationships. And you say, and people you might not otherwise have a reason to talk with about. Hopefully you don't have to talk to the parking enforcement officer, but they stop by if it's food, they're there.
Yeah.
And so so we miss those types of informal ways that we got together as a employee community, which was always very positive. But we're finding other ways, and that's why we do these sort of group Zoom calls with 80, 100, 80 or 100 employees on, asking questions, checking in on how everybody's doing. People are usually just really thrilled to see each other, and
Right.
say,
How you doing? I miss you.
yeah, exactly.
It's a chance to show off your best background or your best coffee mug too. So
That's right.
there's all kinds of ways
This
that
is
we're.
my coffee mug for the day.
Oh, very nice.
I want to remind the folks in the room, we've got about 10 more minutes. So if you do want to ask a question, it does not have to be human resources related, although you're welcome to ask questions about that. Feel free to raise your hand via Zoom, *9 from the phone, or pop your Q&A, your question into the Q&A box. We'd love to hear from you. One thing I will mention while we wait quickly, maybe for a couple questions to come in, is the town manager now has an archive of his reports online on his webpage. We also have created a new way for you to subscribe to those reports. And they're chock full of information. So just talking about keeping people connected, it's something that will encourage our employees to sign up for probably tomorrow, but it's great for the public. You can get a text message or an email when the latest report has come out, and look at all of the previous reports that Paul has prepared. And you can do that from amherstma.gov/town-manager or amherstma.gov/notify-me to get access to all of our categories. So quick plug there.
Nice.
I don't see any hands in the room, and at the moment. So I would love to ask both of you if there's anything you didn't get asked yet, or anything that you thought of while we were talking that you think is important to share.
Yeah, so I'll take the liberty of jumping in. So last weekend was Halloween. We had 80 registered parties that through our party registration system that the Amherst Police Department works with the university to do. There were no noise complaints from those. The largest party, I think, was 12. There were noise complaints about other locations, which we responded to, and we give out citations, that in the negative sense of the word, for violation of the town bylaw. This week, I think there are only 2 parties that have been registered, so that's down. I think people got partied out last weekend because of Halloween. I mean, it was Halloween. It was a the time was changing, and it was the full moon, so we were anticipating the worst, but it didn't turn out to be that bad actually, in terms of noise complaints and things like that. Going forward, with the governor's order, we will not be using the party registration system with the university, because we feel like that might encourage parties, and that's not the message we want to be sending. There's only 3 weekends left 2 weekends actually left in the school year. On their last day of classes, November 20th. And so that's the Friday before Thanksgiving. So most people, if they're in the area, they tend to leave around that time anyway. So I think we have survived the fall semester with the university. We've learned a lot through the process, and enough, I think, that the university felt comfortable moving forward. The governor's orders, I think, are going to create a new level of concern for folks, because it does limit the number of people who can be gathered indoors to 10. But if you're not a member of the household, you still have to socially distance yourselves from each other in the house if you're in the house. We don't plan on knocking on doors and counting heads, but I think we will get complaints and our COVID hotline has been really good at managing these things. So I think, things keep changing. We keep responding to those things. And so I think that's sort of the biggest thing that impacts the public right now. We've been interacting with our restaurant industry, the restaurants, we don't have that many, and they want to know, they were seeking clarification. What does the governor's order mean? Does it mean we have to stop serving at 9:30? Is 9:30 the last call? Give us more guidance on how that works. And so, again, Amherst Police Department, Inspection Services, our health director are all working with the business community to provide clarification. So everybody wants to do the right thing. They just want to know what are the rules for it. And there isn't a lot of clarification coming from the state. So we're trying to be in sync with the other cities and towns that are around us. So, I mean, as I'm talking, I'm realizing almost everything is about COVID, one way or the other. There's something about COVID, and it's dominating town operations, it seems like.
Yes, absolutely. And I will mention, just as a general plug to get those local active case counts for Amherst, you can visit our regular homepage, amherstma.gov, where you can link out to our COVID specific page. If you want to go directly there, it's amherstcovid19.org. We update Monday through Friday with the current active case counts, and we also reflect the cumulative cases for you to look at, as well as other information that's pertinent, the governor's orders, and some various resources for folks related to COVID. Okay.
Can I mention one last thing?
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going to wrap up momentarily. So next Wednesday, November 11th, is Veterans Day, and the town offices will be closed, but we are, I think town employees are going to be going out to the veterans that we've identified in our community, and giving gift bags to folks. And I think also, the VFW and the American Legion will be doing some very small ceremony, because it can't be big. It won't be advertised in advance. They'll just do it to maintain the tradition of honoring the veterans who served the country. So we aren't forgetting Veterans Day. It's just we just can't have large gatherings like we have had in the past.
It's important to acknowledge that. Thank you, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Donna-Rae, any last parting words you want to leave for our viewers that you didn't get a chance to say yet?
I just look forward to meeting everybody, and I'm very grateful to be here. That's it.
Great. That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I know it's only day 9. We usually give people a couple weeks to settle in, but we figured you were up for the task. So thank you for joining us today.
Have a great day.
Yes, thank you. And thank you all who are watching right now and from post. We will be back next Thursday at noon in the same link.
Thanks, Brianna.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.